So I am doing a whole bunch of canning this week, and I'm starting with pickled red onions. So just gonna be chopping them up. I'm gonna be storing them in really small jars, only because I find even just using like a pint jar will be a bit too much for me, especially because this is more like a topping on dishes. So I'd rather, when I have to crack the seal open, I'm doing a smaller jar, which is great. You know, if you have a larger family, use a larger jar, you get a bigger portion. So our first step is we're going to cut the onions. These are really big ones. So instead of keeping them circular and using a mandolin, I'm just cutting them in like really small slices. If you're using bigger jars, you probably don't need to go and try to keep them small. You can keep them in a full circle if you want. So that's just what we're doing right now. So this is the brine. Right now I have 2 cups of apple cider vinegar and 2 cups of just regular vinegar. I want them to have like a sweet taste, so I got this bread and butter pickle mix, and I will be putting that in the bottom of the jars, and then I just need to add into this mix another ½ cup of sugar and 4 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to lightly heat it up, but I am putting everything in cold, so I do need to make sure that this cools down before I pour it over the onions. So I added the salt and the sugar. I don't have it up very high, just like a little bit under medium heat. And I'm just gonna stir it because we want it to just mix and have the sugar and the salt all mixed together. And then I'm gonna let it cool once it's all done. Okay, so my brine is slightly warmed. The sugar and salt all dissolved. So now we are going to stuff the jars. I've only cut up 1 onion so far because I have 8 jars, but we'll see how much I fit in there. And you want to really stuff it. So I could have cut these even smaller, but we'll see. So we want to pack it down. It's okay if the onions come up to the rim. Just keep in mind we're going to be putting liquids in here. And there you go. Okay, so because the jars are so little, I'm going to get my pickling salt. I need the lid was already off. Okay, and the recipe I was using called for a tablespoon, but we're only going to use a teaspoon. And we're just going to top it off. I did forget to do this one, so it's going there. And then we're gonna stuff more onions, and this is just gonna help keep and give it that sweet flavor on top of the vinegar brine that we're putting in, because I want sweet red pickles. And sometimes it's hard to tell when you're looking up recipes online if they're gonna be a sweeter pickle mix. I've done a few other pickling ones, and I was hoping for sweeter flavoring, and it just didn't turn out that way. So hopefully the bread and butter mix will give me my sweet pickles, because I love sweet things.
so I have my lids on, and now they are going to be water bathed. So you do want the water over top of them. You can always, if you don't feel like, or you feel like there's going to be too much movement, throw a towel in, which is what I'm doing here. So we're going to bring everything up to a boil, and then once it hits boiling point, we'll let it go for 10 minutes, and then turn it off, let it all cool, and our pickles will be done. And of course, the very last step is to take them out. So that's what we're doing. We'll let them cool for the evening, put them away in the morning. Okay, so they were allowed to sit overnight. They started popping and sealing right away, but I'm just gonna check the seal on this one. I already checked those ones, and now my pickled red onions are done.